I'm not really even sure why Jimmy stopped making these because I think these are still one of the coolest props that ever came out because not only not only was it me that started the craziness for Halloween, but it was also Lucas as well because this is what I had back then as well, and we both really liked these things. Everyone liked them. This is the most common Halloween prop that's started everything for everyone that's come over. But I'm still not sure why they quit making them. I don't know if just the demand for them wasn't wanted anymore or just because maybe the strings kept breaking. But there was things they could have done to prevent that from happening because I know why they snap. And it's nothing even wrong with... It's just they needed to make it like have a longer activation. And I'll try to explain that. It's easier to show it than to explain it, but... And I don't have to take it apart to show you either. It's just... I've seen it. All of them that break are the ones that have the really short soundtrack that only goes for a couple of seconds. Like the ones that do that screaming and laughing. Those are all of those ones, heads end up breaking because the string in the head is too short, but their soundtrack is also too short for the head to go all the way to the top. So that when they're going down, they just go up. The motor hasn't changed the direction yet for it to go up. It's still going down, but it's going up because it ran out of string. And that's actually how it breaks. It might sound silly because it turns both ways, but what's actually happening is when it lowers all the way down to the end of the string, as it keeps turning the same direction, the plastic is actually cutting the string slowly as it does that. It's weird. It's hard to understand, but that's how it happens. Because the ones like these... with the soundtrack that you know what soundtrack these ones make, these ones never had snapping problems. Same with the female ghosts that actually had lawn string and a lawn soundtrack. They never snapped. Well, yeah, it snapped here, but that's because it was in a bucket. And if you're just that person who uses these just for, the Halloween season, not year-round like I did, these ones would last you a good 8 years before ever breaking. Whereas those ones might last you maybe 1, 2, or 3. That's it. But if you're that person that uses them every day from like afternoon to night, which is what I used to do, you'll get these ones breaking in 4 days. That's why I had to fix them so much and it was always the purple Dawn of the Dead, it was always the pirate, it was always the witch, the green-eyed one, the Spirit Halloween Reaper, the one with the white and yellowed cloth, because the head was too heavy for it to go all the way up. The female ghost ones, the first ones made had lawn strings, so they didn't snap. But the second ones made had short strings, so they snap. But after you fix them and give them lawn string, they won't give you problems anymore. Anyways, if you play these ones every day, they'll last you still a couple of years before they break down. The string won't even break. What's going to most likely break first is the rubber belt in it is going to snap to make it stop going up and down. I know a lot about these because I've had so many experience. The Black Dawn of the Dead string snaps because her string is too short. Her string gets to the end as well, and her head is heavy as well, too heavy for her to go to the top, but her soundtrack is long enough. And that's another thing I didn't like. 2008, they changed these models. Like, instead of having 4 lights, like 1 light for the hands, they only had 2 lights for the head. And that wasn't very cool. That made it less creepy and cool. But that's not even the bad part. The bad part is they changed the whole mechanism on the inside. Like, the hands didn't even have motors in them anymore. There was just a big rail in the middle one that go to both, and it runs on the same rail. So if one hand is down and the other is up, that hand isn't going to go up if the other one's all the way at the top because it's running on one motor that's spinning the whole rail. I mean, there's something you can do to make it go up, but I don't have one to demonstrate. But it's kind of obvious though. At first it wasn't. But this one's actually way more simple on the inside than the newer ones. I mean, the inside is completely different. You will not find the same similarities in the inside of the two. The reason they did a remake, I think, though, was because when the motors in the hands on these ones get old, one hand will go really fast down and the other will go really slow, so then it doesn't look as cool, I guess. That's why they changed it, but I still don't know why they took out the lights. Probably because no motors connect to there or anything to turn on the lights. But, yeah. I think what really killed the demand for these is when they stopped making the ones with the poles in general and made the ones that you hang up with the metal ring, like the floating pumpkin that Spirit got in 2009. I think that's what made them lose the demand for these, because those ones were not half as cool as these ones were, because it's not that impressive. It just goes up and down on one string. These are 3 strings, and it's much more impressive and cool. It has better lighting. These ones are better. But I think that's why they lost their demand, is because they changed them too much. And people weren't liking the changes that were being made to them. I know I didn't at first. Another problem with the 2-light versions is the hands go really slow. Like, the motor gets really slow and the hands don't really move that much. The last ones made were the Mummy and the Skull with the light-up eyes at Target in 2009.